Whittward Carver presents The Great Christmas Cookie Caper. In the frost-kissed, tinsel-strewn streets of London, Inspector Whitt was having a day that was more bar humbug than a lump of coal in a stocking. His tea was cold, his mince pie was stale, and his festive jumper was itchier than a bad case of the Christmas blues. The icing on the frigid cake? He'd been assigned to catch the notorious Christmas cookie thief. Whitt stood in the station staring at the incident board plastered with photos of half-eaten gingerbread men and empty cookie tins. This is bloody ridiculous. I've collared Scrooges and Grinches, and now I'm chasing crumbs. His sergeant, a man with a face like a deflated Christmas cracker, shrugged. Orders are orders, sir. The public is up in arms about their missing treats. Whitt sighed. Right. Allow that image to dance like sugar plums in my head. He decided to set a trap. Word on the street was that the cookie thief struck when the platters were full. Whitt had every officer in the station bake batches of cookies, turning the station into a blimey bakery. P.C. Bailey, with flour on his nose and a grin on his face, asked, "Sir, do you really think he'll strike here?" Whitt smirked. "Kid, if there's one thing I know, criminals are creatures of habit. And this one has a bare sweet tooth." They waited and waited. Whitt was about to call it a night when he spotted a figure darting towards the cookie platter. "Gotcha," he whispered, nudging Bailey. The figure, clad in a dodgy Santa outfit, reached out, snagged a handful of cookies, and turned to flee. Whitt pounced, tackling the thief into a pile of fake snow. As he slapped on the cuffs, he realized the cookie thief was not Mrs. Higginbotham, but none other than old Mr. Jenkins, the retired postman. "Mr. Jenkins?" Whitt gasped. "What the ruddy hell?" Mr. Jenkins chuckled. "I was just having a laugh, Inspector. Ever since I retired, life's been a bit long. This spiced things up." Whitt stared, then laughed. "Only in bloody London would the posties' cookie napping spree be the highlight of my Christmas." Back at the station, Whitt tossed the cookie evidence onto the sergeant's desk. "Case closed. I'm going home to mull some wine and forget this ever happened." The sergeant raised an eyebrow. "Nuff said, Inspector. Nuff said." But the story didn't end there. A few days later, Whitt received a Christmas card. Inside was a note. "Thanks for the fun, Inspector. Here's a little something for your trouble. Mr. J." A small packet fell out, filled with the most banging gingerbread cookies Whitt had ever tasted. He laughed, shaking his head. Only in blasted London would I end up with a criminal pen pal. And so, life in London went on, filled with its delightful blend of the festive and the flipping absurd. Whitt knew one thing for sure. He'd never look at a Christmas cookie the same way again. Just then, a new report landed on his desk. Someone was stealing Christmas tree, a large Norwegian spruce from Trafalgar Square. Whitt sighed, grabbing his coat. "Here we go again."